The next step is actually going to be the menu presentation. After we've transitioned the customer back into our office and we've gained all the information we need, we're now going to be ready to present the menu. Now, it is important to understand that we take the information we just gathered from the customer on our warranty overview and we set up the right menu template, meaning we paid attention to the amount of miles they're driving, how long they plan on keeping their vehicle, so we can tie this into being their story. We're going to use a logical flow of information method as we present our menu, meaning we're going to introduce each product by name, we're going to tell the customer what their problem is, we're then going to share with them what the potential consequences could be from that, and then we're going to offer up our solution. Now, it's also important to know that before we bring the customer back, that we want to go ahead and print out our explanation of benefits program page for the USEA biweekly program. I always recommend printing this out on the gold plan, and I will show you in a minute exactly how that works seamlessly together. I also would recommend that you have your APP benefit already printed out, potentially your GAP benefit. If the fuel economy benefit page works for you, I would have that ready. And I would also take a look at my maintenance and VSC benefit page to see if it helps me in the event I need it to help close a product. But once we bring the customer back in, the first thing we're going to do is take them to the top of the deal and just share with them, congratulations, Mr. and Miss Customer. We were able to get everything worked out for 75 months at $277 a month, just like you guys agreed to. However, based on our earlier conversation, I'm not quite sure if that's the best plan for you. And if you don't mind, I'd like to explain a couple different options. Once they give me permission, I then take them over to this side of the page and I share with them. It's important to note, Mr. and Miss Customer, that each of these plans have been designed with a couple things in common. First and foremost, know that I built them all based specifically on your driving needs. And secondly, they've been designed to help limit the risk in association with owning the vehicle. Now, the first product that I want to talk to you about in our Platinum column is a vehicle service contract. The problem is that this vehicle has only got about 6 more thousand miles worth of basic component coverage, meaning that this car is going to be out of warranty pretty much within the first 6 months after you take ownership, but your payments are going to continue on for a lot longer. The consequence of that could be at any time, once you get in that period, you could be exposed to an expensive payment and an even more potentially costly repair bill. Our solution is a 5/100 wrap with a $100 disappearing deductible, which just simply means if something tears up, you bring it back to any of our stores, we'll get it taken care of for you at absolutely no cost. Now, the next product I want to talk to you about, Mr. and Miss Customer, is gap protection. A lot of people think that because they have full coverage insurance, if their car gets totaled, it's going to get paid in full. That's not necessarily the case. They're only required to pay the actual cash value of the car, which means consequently you could end up getting left holding the bag for additional monies, including up to an additional deductible coverage that you would have to take care of. With our GAP solution, it's going to take care of all that for you and pay it in full, so as long as you're okay, we can come back in and get you another vehicle. Our maintenance plan is a convenient way to go ahead and prepay for your maintenance. You'll notice this 72-month plan matches up with almost your term, which simply means we're going to conveniently add a couple more dollars into your payment, and you pay for your oil changes in your payment instead of making a payment and coming in and paying for your oil changes. The Allstate Paint and Fab product is just an excellent way to protect your interior and exterior against harmful elements of the environment, kids, grandkids, even pets. Protects on the outside against things like acid rain, tar, bugs. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about, and it's important to note, Mr. and Miss Customer, if there's anything you see here that stands out to you, by all means, don't hesitate at the end to ask me. We can build you a plan a la carte. But the Allstate Tire and Wheel plan, here's the deal. When you leave here today, you have absolutely no protection on the two things that touch the vehicle on the ground more than anything else on this vehicle. That's the wheels and the tires. With the potholes that you see out there nowadays, if you hit anything and you destroy one, there's absolutely no protection whatsoever from the manufacturer, so you're stuck holding the bag paying for a potentially expensive wheel or tire. With the Allstate Tire and Wheel, it's a 5-year plan, unlimited mileage, unlimited claims with a 0 deductible. It's good from the time you leave here for 5 full years. Is there any questions about anything in the first column before we continue? Great. Now you'll notice our second column is our gold column. It looks a whole lot like our platinum. The only difference here is that you would be forfeiting your tire and wheel, which just simply meant if you hit something in the road that wasn't supposed to be there, you would be paying the difference because there would be no protection for you. Our silver plan looks a lot like the gold. The only difference here being is that we would forfeit the paint and fab protection, which just simply means we wouldn't be able to have your car treated on the inside and the out to help keep it looking new as long as possible. And coincidentally, if you did maybe get something on it and it got into the clear coat of the paint, you'd just either have to live with a piece of rust or you'd have to take care of it yourself. And then the last column we have, Mr. and Miss Customers, are bronze. It looks a lot like the silver. The only difference here being that you would lose the convenience of being able to pay for your oil changes and your tire rotations in your payment, and you would just have to pay for them separately as you come. Do you have any questions up to this point about anything we've covered? Outstanding. Well, one thing that ABC Motors learned a long time ago when we first went into business is that for us to stay in business and stay successful as long as we have to do what's best for our customers. We try to do that without regards to what's convenient for the manufacturers and certainly not what's convenient for the big bad wolf being the bank. So we partnered with a company called US Equity Advantage, and what it does is it allows us to take our customers and give them a much more affordable payment that actually matches up to their pay cycles. So as an example, we'll use this column, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. We can enroll you today in traditional financing of 75 months for a payment of $330.07 a month. You can write a check, you can click a mouse, you can take it in a wagon load of pennies if you so choose. But if you make this payment on or before its due date for 75 months, you're going to own your vehicle free and clear. Or if it's more convenient for you, like so many of our customers, we can enroll you with US Equity Advantage and give you a biweekly payment of $165.04. That's exactly half this payment, plus there will be $1.95 added to this, so basically your payment's going to be $167 every 2 weeks. But here's some of the added benefits you're going to get. It's going to give you a full 6-month term reduction, reducing your term all the way down to 69 months. Now you'll notice right here, Mr. and Miss Customer, the $378.09 in savings that you see, that is actually the interest that you're going to save after the deferred fee. The reason I say it's a deferred fee is because there is a $3.99 fee, but we're not adding $1 to your loan today, and you're not going to write a check for 1 cent down today. They're going to take it out over time, so as they benefit theirs, that's the additional benefit savings to you. Now down here is what's really exciting to us, Mr. and Miss Customer. At the 42-month mark, when you get ready to come back in and trade your car, and that's about the normal trade cycle, if we enroll you in traditional financing today, you're going to have a loan payoff of $10,175.62. By enrolling in US Equity Advantage biweekly service, it's going to plummet all the way to $9,100. That's going to give you an improved equity position of $1,018.47. And just to put into perspective for you, that means we would have been able to save you about an additional $20 a month on your payment today when you came in. Now once we lessen out the $1.95 fee that I shared with you earlier, which is the $179.40, it's going to give you a total benefit of $839.07. So tell me, Mr. and Miss Customer, which option works best for you today?